how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy. Cause I can feel the energy, energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are what makes you feel so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it to go even farther. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy, the energy. I can feel it, I can feel it. 'Cause I can feel the energy, energy. Oh, I can feel it, I feel it, yeah. Oh, I believe it, yeah. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy, energy. I can feel it, I feel it. Oh.
All right. I hope you can feel the energy. Welcome to Crude Oil Live Technical Analysis. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, and we are live on X. So you can definitely head down into the comments and let me know where you are watching from. We would love to reach out to you, and we will shout you out in some live comments on this live stream as well. So welcome, welcome. And hey, if you are on YouTube or any platform, before we get started in the live analysis, two things to remember. There's about a 20-second delay. So if you ask a comment, I will get back to you. If you ask a question, I will get back to you. And then secondly, if you want to help the old guy out, all right, all you've got to do is hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, like the post. If you're on Twitter, like the post. So that way more people can see this live stream and then the recording, so they can learn how to make some extra money in the market, specifically with trading crude oil. So we are going to get into it. Let me take a look real quick at the comments. Hey, we love our family in Nigeria. So a shout out to Amelia in Nigeria. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome, welcome. We've got a lot of folks who are in our trading club here live as well. I wanted to kind of mix it up today and go live on some platforms because I did not get a chance to do the pre-recorded video that I usually do on my YouTube every Sunday to get you ready for crude oil. So we were running around with some birthday parties this morning, so I wanted to come in and do a live to give you all massive, massive value. Hey, a quick shout out to Jerome over in the Netherlands. Again, we love our international folks, and we love that you are here. All right. Huge shout out to Drew K from Dallas, Texas. I know you're a little cold in Dallas, Texas, so stay warm. I am here in beautiful Miami, Florida. Beautiful weather today, 73 degrees, and there is not a cloud in the sky. Shout out to our friends from Austria. And lastly, from New Jersey, welcome, welcome. So we are going to get started. Okay, we are going to get started. We've got Minnesota, very cold. Go Vikings, go Vikings, go Vikings. My Dolphins are out of the playoffs, but I'd love to see Van Ginkel and the Vikings take care of business. Okay, so let's jump right into the analysis. First of all, a huge, huge congratulations to all of our members. Okay, we started buying crude oil down at around $69 a barrel. And again, huge shout out to all the members who stayed long with me during this process. Now, if you watched my video last Sunday, okay, I talked about we are going to stay long on crude oil due to that existing open gap that had been open for about 3 to 4 weeks. You can see it there on the chart over to the left. Well, guess what? Last week, we finally closed the gap, and then price continued to surge a little bit more. So again, if you're part of the trading club, you know what our theme is for 2025. We are trading less and making more because I'm reassuring you to stay in these trades longer so that you can profit. And guess what? If you're not in the trading club, today is an amazing day for you to join because we have our new price hike that goes into effect tomorrow morning. So you can head down to the website, theprofessortrades.com, take a look at the current plans for less than $1 a day. Come in and see if you like it. You have nothing to lose, right? But all to gain. And if you don't like it, which I'm sure you will, you can always cancel your membership. So come on down and take a look at that as well. So congratulations to all of you who definitely stayed in this trade. And we are going to take a look at where crude oil is now and what we're possibly expecting it to do. Now, that being said, let me just jump into, right, one of the headlines that we see right now happening with crude oil. Okay, we've got this here, crude oil prices jump, okay, due to the sweeping sanctions against Russia oil industry. So this is something on the fundamental side that we definitely want to pay attention to somewhat. Okay, we definitely want to pay attention to some of these news that is coming out. Both WTI and Brent oil obviously went up. So we do have to pay attention to some of the fundamentals. But at the end of the day, okay, structure always wins. Okay, so we are going to get back into the chart and we are going to give you this massive, massive value for you to have. And again, welcome to all of you just joining us from Dubai. I see you from Copenhagen, Brinklin. I see you. Welcome, welcome to our good friends of Venus. Welcome. We do see you. We do see you. All right. So let's go ahead and wipe out this chart. Let's start with our monthly chart and let's take a look at where we are right now in the very first month of 2025. And before you leave this video, I am going to give you some possible setups for you to have some buy stops or sell stops. So stick around for that as well. So if we look at this floor right here, that's been our monthly floor. And I think everyone can see that we have not been able to close below 65, going all the way back since March of 2023. This has really been the floor for the monthly chart. And that's important to note. Okay, that is very, very important to note. Now, if we come up here to the top side, let's just use some more recent data. And let's go right here to this bearish candle. This was April 24. Okay, April 24. So again, it lets us know that we have not been able to close higher than 87 or 88 since April of 2024. But we can clearly see right now that we have a very strong green monthly candle, okay? For the first month of 2025, we did break this structure right here. So for right now, all indications are that we have to remain long on crude oil. Now we're going to be breaking this down through the different time frames, but I always like looking at the monthly because I think that's very, very important. Now, secondly is going to be right here. Okay. One thing you should never ignore are the wicks. The wicks tell the story. Remember, wicks tells you where did price go? Okay. And in some cases, where did price go? And then more importantly, where did price reject? And that's important to remember because the markets are creatures of habit. They like rejecting in the same spots, sometimes in multiple occasions, sometimes in three, and then sometimes they obviously like to break those zones. So it's very important that as we get back into crude oil, you understand that we do have a level here that we do have to respect. And that level is right here at about 79. Okay, we are currently 76 on this channel right now. So if we do take a Fibonacci level from this swing low on the monthly down to where price bounced here at 65, we can see that we are kind of nearing the area that we typically like to begin to look for some type of reverses, which is right around that 78.6 Fibonacci area. Okay. Now keep in mind that today is Sunday. The markets may or may not gap. We'll talk about that in a minute. But again, we will look for the possibility of the next juncture down as we go a little bit higher on crude oil. So as we drop down into the weekly chart, I want you to begin to see the price action. Okay. Because now as we zoom in, okay, and I'm going to give you some strategy stuff here coming up in just a minute. If you zoom in on the chart, now what do we begin to see? Well, we begin to see a different picture. We begin to see rejection here at 80, basically. We saw rejection earlier here at 80, and we are right now approaching that same spot right in here. So this on the weekly, which is where institutional money is being traded, okay, this is something that we've got to pay attention to, okay? So right here, again, this was our structure break. Once that weekly candle, okay, this was back before the new year. When we saw this weekly candle breaking through, right, we began to go long again, starting to keep our longs. For some folks in the group, they cashed out. They waited for a retest, which happened, and then we took this long again for second, third, fourth position. Okay, so it's just a matter of following what the candles are doing, and this is why we stress price action so much in our community, and then discipline in the community. Without discipline, you will not be a long-term successful trader. And so I'm glad that all the folks that are with me, almost 500 now, congratulations, and thank you to you. We focus and we preach discipline day in and day out, because if you're not disciplined, this market will eat you up alive. So on the weekly, we basically need to have a candle to close above, I'm going to say 80 to play it safe, if we expect price to possibly come back down, retest, and then head up to these next levels up in here. Okay. But we're not going to talk about that yet because we are not there yet. And one of the common mistakes I think that a lot of traders make is that they begin to project what they think is going to happen versus what has actually happened. Now, we've all done that, right? I want you to go down in the comments below. If you have been one of those where you got burned in a trade because you thought it was going to go one way and it did not go that way, drop the number 6 in the chat, which is my favorite number. Drop the number 6 in the chat if you've been in that position before where you said, I think this is going to happen, and guess what? It did not happen. So again, the one thing that tells you what is going to happen is going to be what those little red and green candles are doing. They tell the story. And if you are brand new to trading, so I'm seeing all the 6s coming through. Philip on Facebook, Assad on YouTube, Stern, all right, you've been burned hard. Drew K on YouTube, MS on YouTube, Sylvanus with a bunch of 6s, right? That tends to happen. So that is the trading psychology piece of trading that is so hard to overcome. And that's why I believe, listen, if it's not my community, that's fine. Go join a healthy, positive trading community, okay, that will focus in not just on profits, but more importantly, the profits come if you're disciplined. But if you're not disciplined, the profits will not come. You can make profits for a week, you can make profits for a month, but can you claim kind of what I'm claiming? This is going into my 9th year of trading. Had we not been successful and gone 6 figures or higher in trading, we are not still trading 9 years later, okay? Because you can't trade with a zero balance. Okay, so discipline, discipline, discipline. Again, if it's not my community, find a community that's going to preach more discipline than just taking buy and sell signals, right? Because buy and sell signals, who do you blame when it goes against you, right? So even though we give you trade alerts, we tell you when to get in, when you should get out, we give you parameters. We have Elliott Wave Room in our room. Shout out to Brad for running our Elliott Wave Room. So you would be surprised the power of discipline. And again, I think this is why we have a 93% retention rate, because it's not just about the making money piece. You make money when you are disciplined in trading. So let's go ahead and get back into it. So we need to wait to see what is going to happen right here. Now let's go over to the daily. Okay, so on Friday, okay, and again, this is, when I say easy, nothing is easy in trading, but you can take a look here at structure. Right? These are the structure points that we traded to get back into the market. Okay, we had that closure above. Here was our retest. Okay, here was our, happened on 2 different occasions. Okay, and so this is what gave us the opportunity to stay long on crude oil or get in a second, third, fourth entry, or maybe cash out. Because in my group, I preach go in with 2 entries, take 20 to 30 points off the table, and then let a runner go. And we've been having runners since 65 down in here. So now we begin to see on the daily, are we beginning to get some rejection? This was Friday. This is not a big body of evidence for us to say, oh yeah, price is going to go down. The markets closed on Friday. In addition, the markets were closed on Thursday due to the to President Carter being laid to rest. The markets were respecting the former president, and so the markets were closed. So there was little volume. We don't know what's going to happen today on Sunday with any potential gaps, okay? But we are going to just treat this as if it was a normal trading day, okay? So the first thing we begin to look at is going to be our daily Fibonacci level. So we're going to take this high to this low, and again, we're going to see here that our trading group, normally we begin to look for some type of reverses, especially if it's against the trend. We just want to cash out a quick 20 points, okay, 20 pips. If you're on futures, you're trying to catch a 20-cent price difference on crude oil. This is where we begin to look. And we did just that on Friday while we were doing our live analysis. I gave out a sell signal, and we had enough price to come down that folks were able to take a quick counter trade against the trend. Okay, yes, you definitely want to stay with the trend, and your trend is going to be your friend. But if we're really going to go long term, if you see this, if you squeeze the chart, okay, this is something that I'm teaching in my private coaching sessions, is if you squeeze the charts, right, you can definitely just see, right, the trend here coming down, right? Here is the trend kind of coming down. Now, I'm not a big trend line trader. I just use a general trend line so that people can see that now we have crossed over this particular trend line, this directional here. Are we in a complete bull run like we were back in here? Okay, and the answer is no, we are not in a bull run. In my opinion, we need to close above 95 to really say we are going to go back up into these hundreds. If you look right here, and I'm just going to draw so you can see, we are in just an overextended consolidation area, right? Now you might say, oh my gosh, we are consolidating between 65 and 95. Yes, if you look right here on the daily, if you are trading the lows, you are buying from these low spots. And if you are trading the highs, you had an opportunity to trade at 95. Lately, it's been 87 or so where the highs have been. We have not made a new high past 95. So we are not in a bull run on crude oil. We are just having a shift in price right now, possibly due to the sanctions that are happening in Russia. So there is no evidence to claim that we are going to go back up to 100 or 120, like I've heard people say. That will be the case if and when we close above 95. Until then, this is your playing field. Okay, today is Sunday. I know for some of you, football is soccer. There is soccer going on. And for Americans, the NFL playoffs are going on. This is our playing field, right? This is the playing field. So if we wipe this out and we just put our standard box right here, this is our playing field. There's our lows and there's our highs. So this is what you should be focused on trading, nothing else, right? You should be focusing on finding opportunities within this area right here, okay? This is the area that we're looking at. Now, let's build our structure points so that you can have these same structure points at home. What I want you to do, okay? Hey, and awesome. I love to see comments like this. Stern is in our trading group. He earned 169 points on that oil trade Friday. Awesome, awesome. And that's what you get for stacking multiple entries and following the rules that we talk about. That is a trader's week. Okay, that is a trader's week. Too many people are trying to make 5, 6, 7% a day in trading. That will not last. Let me be 100% honest with you. If you are trying to make 5, 6, 7%, you will not last in trading, right? We have now become monthly investors. That is the other focus in our trading group. Where are we at the end of the month? Folks, if you can drop, right, 1% a month to 2% a month in trading, that averages 10 to 20% a year. That is what the S&P 500 is bringing back. I think they brought back 20% again this year. Are you going to beat the S&P 500 in your overall trading? Because you could have a great week, you can have a great month, but how many of you have given back massive profits because you got greedy, you didn't have a trading plan, and you had no discipline in your trading? If you have given back massive profits, head down to the comments and drop the number 1 in the chat. If you have made 1,000 and then maybe a week later gave that 1,000 back, drop the number 1. There's no shame in the game. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to find what's not working and you have to fix it. Because if not, you become the same hamster on the same hamster wheel. You make 500, you give 500. You make 2,000, you give 2,000. So the goal here is that you can realize that trading is a long-term game, right? You are never going to outsmart the market, okay? So if you can bring in 10% a year, and listen, if it's your first year trading, let me help you bring in 5% a year, right? That's a raise that you would not get at work. But we get way too many people preaching on social media sites, 8%, 9%. Trust me, there is no one that can bring that consistently day in and day out as a day trader. So listen, stay humble, stay focused, stay in your faith. By the way, it's Sunday. I want to give Jesus Christ a shout out, our Lord and Savior, okay, for giving us the ability to live and breathe another day to spend with you here on the live. But listen, you've got to be realistic with yourself. Stop falling for the shiny object syndrome. Stop following other people who might be making 30, 40, 50K a month and you have a $500 account, right? Stay humble. I've always said my goal and my group and why I've made it so cheap to stay in it because I want to help you pay your electricity bill. I want to help you pay your car bill. I want to help you pay your water bill. If you can't pay those bills first, how do you expect to be a 4-figure trader, a 5-figure trader, and then a 6-figure trader? So start with just making $10 a day. That's the way I started, making $10 a day. If you can make $10 a day consistently for a few months, that's going to pay a bill, but that's going to teach you discipline. That's going to keep you in the game longer. Stop trying to build, as they say, Rome overnight. If you do this for the long haul and you do it right with the right people, I can guarantee you that then you can be successful. Okay, then you can be successful. Okay, let's get into the charts here. We're about 24 minutes into our live stream. So watch this. I want you to pay attention to. If you squeeze your charts on the daily and you grab a horizontal line and you find that last high point, in this particular case, This was the last high point. There's your break. There's your break of structure. That's where you go long, right? That's where you go long. So too many people are not using a simple feature of squeezing your chart. So let's take a look at our next top. Our next top is right here. You can see the rejection points on the daily. This is how you can learn structure and wait for structure. Well, guess where we're at? We are right here. We are right here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is the educator side of me. So I hope you don't mind that I'm going to do a little teaching at the same time. Because if you can learn something from this, I don't care if you're a member or not, if you're a subscriber or not, then I feel as God has called us to do, to leave people better than you found them, then I know that I am doing my job. Okay, so this is all we're waiting for. So there's only two scenarios that are going to happen here at the white line. We are either going to reject this white line and drop, or we are going to close above the white line, and then we are going to target possibly our next level at about 83. That's it. There's only two choices. Trading is not hard. It's our psychology that makes it very difficult. So on the daily, which is where I like to do my main analysis, we are now going to wait to see what happens right in here, because we have to wait for the Sunday gap. So here are your two possible scenarios for those of you that want to swing crude oil or look for some long-term entries. Number one is, and I'm going to be breaking this down on the smaller time frame as well. So if you like the smaller time frame, I definitely want you to just wait a few more minutes, and then I'm going to be breaking this down on the smaller time frame as well. Okay, so on the big time frame right now, there are only two possible setups that you can look at. You are not going to go long until there's a close here, okay? And possibly we go long to this high, okay? And of course, we take it level by level. And let's go ahead and mark this up. If you want to take a screenshot of this, again, if you're in my trading group, you guys don't need to worry because you get all of my charts every day along with our beautiful Elliott wave charts as well. So that's the long. If that long is going to happen on the daily, we need a closure on a 4-hour candle or higher. We need a retest, and then we need continuation to the next level. Okay, so that is the next long on the daily. Now, if this rejects, the short becomes very simple, right? We are at the 88.8. So if you took a short from, again, we don't know where the gap is going to be. So I'm just going to go halfway, right? The short would look like this. We close right above this particular high right here for a little room to breathe. And the goal is that we can take it right back down to the low, 67. Now, even though you see big parameters here, this is a 3-to-1. This is a 3-to-1, almost a 4-to-1. Understand this. This is the biggest mistake that traders make. They do not know when to take profits, right? So they're in profit for 40, 50 points, and they think, okay, it's going in my direction. I don't need to put a stop profit. You walk away for a minute, some wacky news comes out, or the next day you forgot that you did not put in stop profit, and then you go from being green to being red. Has that ever happened to you, that you are in the green and then you turn red? All right, if that's happened to you, go to the comments and type in red. So how do you avoid that? This is why I preach, if you are going to trade with a 2% risk, you enter 2 entries. Make sure I'm on camera. 2 entries. You're going to take profits at 20 points, and then you are going to protect the second trade. You're going to put your stop loss in stop profit by, if it's 2 pips your spread, 3 pips your spread, and then you are going to see if you can get a runner. And on crude oil, every time you're up 30 points, you move your stop profit deeper and deeper and deeper into profit. At the end of the day, listen to this. I'm going to say it slowly. At the end of the day, okay, breaking even does not pay your bills. You can't call your bank and say, I can't make my car loan this month because I broke even on 5 trades. So that is why I focus on, you've got to take profits off the table. That is why we do a 20 pip challenge. Once you got 20 pips, once you got 20 points, however you want to call it, ticks on futures, you have to secure profits because this is a volatile market. You don't want to give back green money and make it red. So take some off the table, protect the second trade, and let the second one run as far as it can run. Maybe it runs another 30 pips. Maybe it comes back and stops you out. But guess what? You will never be break even because you have taken profits off the table. That is so important in growing your account. I don't see, I love working. I love when we get brand new people, and a shout out to Mohammed and I can't remember the other name, two folks that joined us today. I love people that come in and say, hey, I only got a couple $100s. Those are the type of people I love working with because I was there. Okay. I had to grow a $100 account, okay, into 1,000 and then 1,000 into 2,000. So I love working with those people because I give you a plan, right? We give you a daily growth chart. Yes, you're only making $1 or $2 the first week, 2 weeks, right? But you're growing, you're learning how to trade, you're learning psychology, you're learning what it takes to be a trader, right? And so this is why our theme for 2025 is to trade less and make more, because we are looking more into our longer term trades so that you can trade less, because most of you are still working jobs. You have a family, you're involved in your church or synagogue. So whatever the case may be, that's the reason why I'm spending so much time giving out the charts, why our Elliott Wave guru, right, Mr. Brad is dropping knowledge along with some other members in holding trades longer, because they're giving you the parameters of Elliott Wave. So Elliott Wave, when you first look at it, you might be very confused, but I can guarantee you that in our Elliott Wave room, okay, they make it peanut butter and jelly. They make it very simple for you to stay in a trade, because if you can take one trade and make 100 points, why would you want to trade 5 times in the week and make 20 when you're paying more fees to the broker? So you got to start trading smarter. That's what we're doing. We're trading smarter in 2025. So if you've got $50, let me help you get to 100, and then we'll scale from there. You got 1,000, let me help you get to 2,000. And not me. We have an amazing community. So a shout out to everyone in our community. You guys and ladies rock with your charts, with your positiveness, greeting people, sharing what you're doing. We have an options hub room. People are trading options. A shout out to all of you in the options room. I don't trade options, but somebody said, hey, can we get a room or a space for options? So we created it for people who want to trade options. So a shout out to you. And I do got to put this on. Okay, I do got to put this on right now. Hold on. I'm going to put this comment. I am getting some comments here from one of the comments here. Hold on. This is for Mike over on Facebook, who just asked for the link. Mike, I appreciate you coming in. Let me welcome you. There's the website down below. We definitely appreciate you. Hey, this right here, real quick. I got to give a shout out to my boy, Brad. Okay. He's got his own Elliott Wave channel as well. I'll be linking that link to that channel after this live stream, okay, in the video description. But if you come in, guess what? He's coaching you every day, okay? 9 to 10 charts a day. Bitcoin, futures, Forex. Folks, come in. You're paying less than $1 a day for the value. We do a live analysis daily, charts, continuation. So again, listen, of course, I'm going to preach the amazing community we have, but if it's not my community, I just ask that you find yourself a healthy and positive community that cares about you and your growth and your psychology versus just hitting a buy or sell button. Because the moment that that person goes away and doesn't give you buy or sells, what do you do then? Come in and learn and take trades with us. But I want you to be fruitful in being able to grow so that you understand charts and that you understand how to trade for yourself. Let me be honest, right? That you can do that as well. So definitely appreciate you. Okay, let's go back in here and finish the value session. All right, so we are jumping in here. So right now, this trade oversees the long trade because we don't have any evidence that price on a daily is going to go longer. So let's drop now into our 8-hour chart. Okay, 8-hour chart. Now, if you've never had this little tool, let me share it with you. Because I think another thing traders do on these public forums is that they hide information. Why do I want to hide information? Okay. Why do I want to hide information? I want to be able to give you what you need to be successful. Whether you join or not, I really don't care. I want you to be successful. I want more people not to live paycheck to paycheck. I want people in Nigeria, in the Netherlands, to spend more time with their families, to spend more time with their faith. That's what's important. So if you go over into the indicators tab and you start typing in PARA, you're going to find this right here called the parabolic SAR. I've already got it, so I don't need to reinstall it. Okay, so once you click on it, it's going to be added into your chart. Now I'm going to activate it on my chart. Now in school, they taught you colors and they taught you shapes. So I like to use the circle, right? I like to use the circle. So guess what? Now there's different settings that we work with here. You can do an O2 setting. So currently, if you want to take a screenshot, again, here's a screenshot of these current settings. I make them a little bit more aggressive because it usually gives me a heads up of the trend that might begin. And what the parabolic SAR stands for, okay, what the SAR stands for is very simple. Okay, so SAR, S-A-R, stands for stop and not resist. Okay, stop and return. Okay, stop and return. Some other folks will call it stop and reverse. So however it feels good for you, stop and reverse is probably the most common. Stop and return, whatever it feels for you. Okay, but it is not stop and resist. All right. So as we go here, you can see here that we got our first parabolic SAR very aggressively here on this candle. Now, this was the first SAR on this buy candle right here. And we share all these strategies, by the way, and shamelessly, I'll tell you that any teachings that we do in our class, like, listen, you're getting courses and you're getting free knowledge in our course as well with your membership. So you should never be paying thousands of dollars for a trading course. That is stupidity, 100% stupidity. So we start looking for this usual common thing that happens once we get a SAR. We usually get some form of a retracement, okay? And so this is why we love working off parabolic SAR and then adding our Fibonacci level, because lo and behold, guess what? This is how we can get early into the party. We came right back down to our beautiful 61.8 Fibonacci area, right? And so this first long became very easy, right? We're sitting at the 61.8. We want to go back up to where price came from, okay, in our structure point. And if you need a stop loss, it's below the most recent low and your spread. So that 3-to-1 started this initial trend. Now, guess what? Now that that happened, all we do now is wait for what? We're waiting for the next. If you want to get into multiple entries, we're waiting for the next structure break. Meanwhile, you can still see here, let me get rid of the fibs. You can still see here that we've got parabolic SARs still happening. So we're just following the dots. If you can follow the dots, there is no reason for you to exit that trade. Okay. But now, because you have learned something, you realize that price broke through structure, came back to retest. This is where you add another position. You go smaller on your lot size because you already have gains from all here. You can add another position and you're going to the next structural point or until the next SAR flips, which happens right here. But if you look over to your left, folks, this is not difficult. Crude oil loves following structure. Look what happened right here. We had a rejection point. Well, if we take that circle and go right across, where do we see the next rejection point? Right there. So even though we're bullish, right, you can still catch a quick retracement. Even though that's not advised, that's where the retracement happened. But here's the real move. The real move is price coming back down into the same level a second, third, fourth time, right? These are 8-hour candles. If you get more than 2 days where price hasn't closed, you know what's going to happen, right? And this is the analogy I use in the group all the time, right? Imagine that white arrow, that yellow box, right? That is people coming to your house and they're knocking on your door. If you don't open and they keep knocking, eventually they leave, right? That's what happens. So if you relate that to trading, okay, if you relate that to trading, you can only knock so many times and price will eventually leave. So they knocked, they left. They decided to come back to try to sell you more stuff. They knocked, they left. They decided again to come back and try to sell you stuff. They knocked, and then eventually they left again, right? So this is how you trade structure, right? Looking at the higher time frame and looking at what price does. Then we came to our next structure point. Well, this was just a boom, a huge booming bullish candle. right? You can see here that the parabolic SAR, okay, was, let me grab this arrow. The parabolic SAR was created on the structure break. So the parabolic SARs are created on structure breaks. That is why you got the white one down here, because this structure break broke down and created a couple of SARs until we had a structure break above, right? So again, in an uptrend though, you should really be disciplined to avoid the sells and only looking for the next buy opportunity. So this is where we are at, right? We are still right here when it comes to, we are still looking for buying opportunities, okay, until on an 8-hour chart, we get a candle to close below 75. Once a candle closes below 75, that's possible confirmation that we may then come down to this level. And then after that level, we just trade it level to level. But in the meantime, if you are looking for a Fibonacci retracement, barring any crazy stuff that happens tonight with the, what am I talking about? The, I lost my words here, my train of thought. The gap, there we go. Then we shall see. And we trade the gaps live every 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the trading group. All right, so let's begin to wrap up this live analysis. Hey, if you're getting value, don't forget to hit that like button. And again, I wanted to get into a little teaching as well. So if you're getting some value, please hit the like button for me. That's all I ask. Completely free. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you think someone that you know can benefit from this channel or from this video, please share the video. We would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's zoom in now and let's begin to look at what kind of happened here, okay, and where we are at in our 4-hour chart. I'm going to remove this for now. Members, you'll get this chart fully nicely done before we meet at 6 o'clock tonight for our live analysis. Okay, so we got to wait to see what happens here, okay, on the 4-hour. If we see a rejection, I see liquidity candle here. This is going to be our next possible short-term buy right here. Again, we need to see a candle close. So if we see that gaps happen here tonight, we might take a quick sell down. Okay, but these sells, again, because we are going against the trend, they're going to be 20 points and we cash out. We're looking for the next momentum buy down in this area around 75. Okay, if we see signs of exhaustion, if we see wicks, I will call out that signal for you, and then we will take this next buy up to about 78 or so. Okay, so this is really where we are at right now. And if we drop to the 1-hour, okay, we can see here what's kind of happening on the 1-hour. Now, the 1-hour is interesting because usually what happens, and again, this is a rarity because it's Sunday, meaning markets are closed, right? Usually what happens is impulse, retracement, and then continuation. Okay, so if it wasn't for a Sunday, if it wasn't for that there might be a gap, that's the norm that we would be looking at. But because it's Sunday, that is obviously not a guarantee because we know that price can gap much higher. So for those of you that want to, try and get a quick scalp, okay, this is what I would focus on. Okay, this is a quick scalping opportunity. Number one is taking a short, long position at the break of this structure back up to this wick, which was the high last week. Okay, and this would have to be something like this. It's a 1-to-1. Okay, this is just a quick scalp. So this becomes a buy stop. Okay, now you probably cannot, obviously, let me add some text here. You probably cannot activate this because your markets are closed. But depending on what happens with the market, this is a possible buy stop. The focus here is that there's an impulse back up to the wick and you grab your 20, 30 points and you call it a day, or you protect it up to the next level. Okay. Now on the downside, okay, this might be making this M pattern right in here. Okay. On the downside, I want to be able to see a structure break. Okay. That would be a quick short. Okay. Quick short breaking this structure point. That would be your exit back down to this liquidity candle right in here. Okay. So this would be a sell stop. Okay. And this is just me only being able to give you what I see right now because the markets are closed for a quick scalp in either direction. Okay. So you're looking at buy stop, sell stop based on where price is. If we look at the 15-minute chart, you can see that we kind of ended up here being consolidated. Okay. Being consolidated. So this may give you the opportunity to scalp something based on when the market's open, if there is no gap. Okay. Now, if price opens with a gap up here, okay, for crude oil, all of this is violated. We go back to our main daily structure, which is up here. Okay. If we gap down here for the Sunday gap, all of this is violated because you can't enter this trade anymore. And then we will give you an update once price is down here. Okay. Keep in mind, for some of you who maybe this is your first time trading or you're brand new to trading, Sundays should never be considered a trading day. So in our group, we don't trade on Sundays. We trade only if we see a large enough gap to enter position number one into what may turn out to be a swing trade. So we look at crude oil, we look at natural gas, which we've been very successful with, and then we look at the indices, gold and silver. Okay, that happens at 6 o'clock. Okay, understand if you're looking at the Forex pairs, right, the JPYs, the pounds, the euros, that those markets open at 5 o'clock, 1700 hours. But if you look at your broker, if you have a broker that has a huge spread, those spreads are huge between 5 and 6. So at 6 o'clock, if a member says, hey, let's take a look at EJ because there's a huge spread, then we look, or because there's a huge gap, then we look at it. Okay. But for me, we don't take anything unless there's 40 pips or 40 points or more. It's not worth taking it for 10 or 15. So understand, right, regardless of what you may have heard, Sundays are not days to enter trades. They're days to let the market open and adjust. I don't trade London session. I only trade US session. So we do our live session every morning right before US session opens. Okay, but we do have London traders because they're in Europe. We provide charts and analysis for those folks on my evening times, for those folks that are going to trade London. But I do not actively trade London. One session is more than enough. I like US session because I believe they've tipped their hand in the direction they want to go. I can see structure clearly. And again, we usually are in and out of the markets. Honestly, by 10:30, we've got our 1 or 2 trades and we're done for the day. So that is my goal for everyone, that you get in, you get out. Or if you are doing a long-term trade, that we've got our good entry and then we're letting our entry ride for the next 24, 48, or 72 hours. So that's it. If trading becomes boring, like, you should not be stuck to a computer. Once I do my live with my group, everything is based on alerts. I no longer sit at my desk right here. I am out. I am enjoying the day. I am letting the alerts in structure zones dictate when I put out something to our members. And so don't be a slave to trading, or you won't do it long enough because it won't be fun. Trading should be fun. Okay, if it's not fun, find a fun community that makes it fun for you, because trading by yourself is very, very hard. Trust me, I sucked my first 3.5 years. I lost more than I won. I had to get with the right mentor, the right community before I turned that around. So trading is not easy. This is not an automated teller machine. You just can't wake up and say, I'm going to make $1,000 in the market. You got to know what you're doing, or they'll take it quicker than you'll get it back. Okay. So I hope you got some value in today's video. We are running about a 50-minute stream right now. If you're brand new, welcome. I hope you hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell. If you like these type of live analysis to happen more often, just write the word live in the comments. I want to maybe dedicate to a mid-week live analysis as well, to give you an update on not just crude oil, but on the charts in general, where you can tell me what chart do you want me to analyze. So I'm thinking about doing that not only for our members, but also for our YouTube community as well, possibly every Wednesday evening once the markets have closed. So if that's something that could benefit you, to maybe look at a live chart on a midweek and look for some setups on your favorite pair, you will run the live. I will just do the work behind the scenes. Head down to the comments and type in live, and maybe we'll start that feature as well. But by no mistake, my 100% dedication is definitely to our trading community. right? This is how we've been able to turn lives around. We've been able to grow accounts. People are making money for the first time. People are feeling better about their trading. We talk about health. We talk about mental health. We talk about physical fitness. We incorporate all that stuff. We celebrate birthdays. It is truly a family community. That's the way my vision was, and that's what it'll continue to be. It is not a buy or sell, come in and only look for trade alerts. If you want to grow as a trader, if you want to grow as a human being, if you want to grow your faith, not my faith, I just promote you to grow your faith. Spend time in the important areas of your life, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your trading account. You cannot take that with you. I hope that if your goal is to make money, that you are giving back that money to family members, to strangers, that you volunteer, that you do positive things in your community, in your country, in your state with some of the money that you make, that you give back to your place of worship. That's what makes you feel good. That's what should make you feel good. And that's how we can give back as decent human beings in our society. Okay, I'm not about Lambos or expensive cars. I just got myself a Tesla Cybertruck because I've been wanting that truck for 4 years, right? But I will always wear an iWatch. I'm not into the bling thing. I'm humble. I'm 54. I care more about faith and family, and I love the opportunity to be able to give back and help people. I love receiving weekly messages. Hey, Armando, thanks. Thanks to you, I paid this bill. I was able to make this much money. And so this is a journey. Right? Everybody in my community knows, those members that signed up for the lifetime plan when it was available. Okay, I told them I plan to do this until age 62. At 62, when Social Security kicks in, which is in 8 years for me, then I will probably no longer have the energy, and I just want to continue traveling the world like I'm doing now as much as possible. So make sure that you know your why. Make sure that you're passionate, that you have a purpose for what you're doing. It should never be about just making money. Right? Making money should be a piece of it, but making money and then doing what with it should be the most important piece. Hey, thanks for watching the live stream. I appreciate all of you community members. I'll see you in the app in just a bit. I'll see you at 6 o'clock for our Gap Live analysis, and I appreciate each and every one of you. May God bless each and every one of you. You have a brand new start in 2025, right? Fix your addictions, fix your shortcomings, apologize, do something nice to someone today. Even if you don't know them, buy someone a cup of coffee, maybe send a text message and apologize, even if it's not your fault. Be kind, give back, and you can see that your world is going to turn around. Okay? Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.